Call the meeting to order. The Geneva Plan Commission meetings are now live streamed and recorded. Your participation in the meeting is your consent to the recording and rebroadcasting of the meeting on the town's YouTube channel. We've got a couple of things of business we need to take care of first. First is the reorganization of the Plan Commission and calling the roll, and James Buckingham is present, Rob Johnson is present, Tammy Hogle is present, Steve Kuhn is present, Lynn Burry is present. Absent is Arlen Mitchell and Kevin Huffman. And our town attorney, Nick Baumgartner, is also here. Reorganization of the Plan Commission. It's been 2022 since the last Plan Commission meeting. Some of the members that were on the board at that time are no longer on the board. There's Mark. Come on in and sit down. So we need to elect a president and a secretary. And I'm just the interim right now until someone says otherwise. So nominations for president.
I think Lynn does a great job.
I'll second it. Well,
Any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
no.
For the third and final time, are there any other nominations? If not, all in favor of me remaining as president of the Plan Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now we need a secretary to take the minutes. We have nominations for secretary.
Where's Dean?
15 minutes. 15 on here.
Jim? You have a nomination for secretary?
I don't want to.
Tammy, you'd like to be a secretary?
No, I don't want to.
Nominate her, and then we can second her, and then we can get.
Nominate Tammy Hogle.
Thanks, Steve. I
We
know
have a
we're going to
nomination
ask
of Tammy Hogle. Do we
Lynn.
have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further nominations for secretary? Any further nominations for secretary? Third and final time, any further nominations for secretary? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Minutes from the October 2022 meeting, October 11th meeting. You should have that in your packet. Are there any additions, corrections, or other changes that need to be made of anybody that was at that meeting? I think Tammy and I were the only ones that were there. Well, you weren't there at that time, were you? I didn't see anything that needed change. Did you, Tammy?
No.
And a motion to accept, if no
Accept.
changes? Have a motion to accept, a second?
I'll second it.
Tammy second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay. The reason for the meeting tonight is an application, a hearing for a subdivision plan plot approval for Rainbow Lake Section 3 subdivision. The property owner is here, Mike Schwartz. We'll open it up to Mike and see what his intents are and why we're here.
Well, basically, I've had this property for 12 years. It's never been part of the association. I have full lake rights where I live. I can subdivide property once according to the deed when I first purchased it off the Limberlost Conservation Association. But in speaking with the Lake Board, I'd like to take it to the next step and do this for two reasons. One, protect the Lake Board, the association, and to protect the property. You know, I'm the caretaker of this property right now. I don't know who the next caretaker is going to be. And the thing about belonging to any association comes down to two things. money and control. I've given the money for lake donations because they can't take my dues because the property was never one of them. But they can take donations, and they've gladly done that for the last 11 years. The other thing is control, where on my property, all I got to do right now is go see Mark Quinn and get a permit. And if it falls within the building guidelines set forth by the town of Geneva and or the county, I can do pretty much anything I want. I could put another outbuilding up. I could put a gazebo up. I could do this. I could do that. But do I want to do that? No. I love living at Rainbow Lake. It's been one of the nicest neighborhoods I've ever lived in. But I want to make sure that whoever the next caretaker is, that he has the same mindset. So simply by joining the Lake Association, it puts my property in their control. And in talking with the Lake Board early on, they said that they came up with 3 lots that they want to assess my property off of. I'm fine with that. That's what I've been paying on lake donations since we first purchased property or built on it. And that a simple agreement would be put together. But then that's what caught my attention, and I emailed Brett Miller, and I copied your father at the time, Nick. I never started copying you on emails until maybe halfway through this process. But I wanted to do it right so that going forward, it holds up with whomever the caretaker is and whoever the next board is. Because the verbal agreements will last, they last great, as long as we're all in the same room. But as soon as you get new people in, we don't know anything about verbal agreements or a simple agreement. So I asked Millers to subdivide my property up on 3 lots, and he did. And Mark Wynn shot it down. I cannot have a cabin, I cannot have an outbuilding on a single lot within the town of Geneva. Don't matter if it's Rainbow Lake, whatever, but in the town of Geneva, you can't have an outbuilding on a lot by itself. And I wasn't allowed to put a lot line down the center of my house, which I don't agree with that, I won't argue. I own another house in Rainbow Lake that takes up 2 lots, it's right down the center. But in going back and talking to Dave, he commented that in the agreement, make it 2 lots, and in the agreement, because of the size of 125, the Lake Association is going to assess that lot as 2 lots. But then that also gives me my 1 lot, if so I ever so choose, which I have no plans to, of lot 124 can actually be a buildable lot. The other thing I asked Dave to put into the agreement, because this is step 1. Step 1 is getting it part of the Rainbow Lake subdivision. Part 2 is entering into an agreement with the Lake Board Association and Baumgartners. The other part of this that I spoke to Dave about is I want to protect the cabin. So it's to be written up that if the cabin is damaged by storm or fire, that it can be repaired / rebuilt back to the original footprint. Not added on to, not tripled in size, but know when going forward and the new lake board can come back and say, that cabin's in violation, tear it down. I want it in writing that the cabin is grandfathered in and can be replaced if damaged to the original footprint. I think that's about it. You got any questions?
Mark, anything to add? I noticed we have some people from the lake here tonight. Do they have anything they would like to ask or add?
Jimmy, you got it?
Please identify yourself for the record.
I'm Jim Arnold. When Mike came to the Lake Board and requested that he'd like to be part of the association, the Lake Board unanimously agreed. He's ever since he has taken over the Boy Scout Point, which we call it, it has been fantastic. When we first moved here 18 years ago, it's nothing but weeds and, overgrown grass and stuff, and there was 34. I used to go out every spring. In the first year we lived here, there was 34 goose nests out there, and each had an average of 8 to 12 eggs in it. And since this, that time, the only geese we get on the lake now come across the road. But anyway, the big thing we are looking at, wanting him to be in the association, is to protect the lake. That if something happens, he sells their property, we could have an eyesore and a junkyard like we got off the railroad street where there's 17 vans parked in the yard. I mean, that lot could hold 20 or 30 vans. So, we are more than happy to welcome Mike into the association, and we hope to pass this and let him proceed and go on with this. Thanks.
Mike, Mary, you have anything to say?
I under the
Come up recording, please.
it can't be subdivided in the back part of his lot to third now. To make 3 lots.
Like he said earlier, he tried to make 3 lots, but it made it to where the outbuilding, garage, whatever everyone will call it, cabin, was on its own lot. And just like we've had in the past where people have a residential R1 lot and they went and put a storage building on it, it's supposed to be accessory to a home, so it couldn't be by itself. So,
And I added that too, Mark. When I read through, as the lake board now is in the process of fine tuning the covenants, and I read through the updated version of the new covenants that I don't know if it's been approved yet, but it mentions in there that no single lot can be subdivided. Meaning that lot 125 may be a big lot, but it takes lake board approval now to subdivide that. That was another motivator for me to spend $1,800 of my own money for Miller, because if I go in with just one lot, which would have been a little less out of pocket money, I could have done that, and through an agreement, it could have been 3 lots. Now I would have sacrificed the opportunity to do something with lot 124. And again, I have no plans for that lot, but I would hate to give up that opportunity to have it. But I cannot, or will not, I cannot subdivide it up again once the agreement's done and the covenant.
Agnes, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have a question. My question is, when you do the 2 lots, is there a reason to do 3? What would be the logic for it?
The reason to do 3 is because I wanted to be assessed off the 3 properties. But when I found out I couldn't do the 3rd lot, and Dave and Nick had been copied on all these emails, Dave commented back and said, that's not a problem, do 2 lots. 125, we're going to write up in the agreement with the Lake Board Association that because of the size of that lot, it's going to say on paper it's 1 lot, but we're going to assess you for 2 lots for your dues.
I'm just asking questions. So, if you wanted to, if any person wanted to pay more dues, they could, would you have to have it be 3 lots just to be able to pay extra money? If 2 lots is what?
I don't understand the point of the question, Agnes. For 12 years, I've been giving lake donations there.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure if somebody moves in and they're assessed at 3 lots and they say, I'm a really good guy, Michael's a jerk, I'm going to pay you for 5 lots. You're not going to turn that down.
I'm just asking why 3, why not keep it 2 if you want to pay extra to pay it? That's just the question.
Why not make it 3? Again, I cannot make it 3. I cannot put the cabin on a lot by itself because it's no longer a livable dwelling, I put a garage door in. So now that, even though you never see the garage door because it faces the road, now it's assessed as an outlet. Okay, so if I move the line over and it gets into my house, again, I can't put a line that hits my house. So to keep it simple, we're just making it 2 lots. 1 lot's gonna be assessed for 2 lots, and then the other lot. And originally that ad, it could have made it just 1 big lot. But now I've sacrificed the opportunity to be able to sell or develop on lot 124, and I didn't want to do that.
I've never been against it. That's the question.
And I get that, I
People want to
appreciate
go
that.
right through
I want
lots
to do it the right way.
Because there's no access to.
I want it to do it on paper, so going forward, whoever the caretaker is, whoever the next board members is, it's on paper. There's no blocking the water and going back and forth and, hey, what was that agreement about? Right there it is.
So would this maybe be essentially a lake association question rather than this meeting? Would other members, like I said, it's probably a different meeting, be able to say, well, not me, but somebody's got a big lot and they want it to be 2 lots now and get board approval to make it 2 so they can pay double the dues. I don't know who would do that, but does that open that can of worms?
No, I don't know. Again, I don't understand your logic at all.
And that question I don't think has anything to do with our meeting that we're dealing with
That's what I
tonight,
said, I think it's a different meeting.
so
Okay.
we need to move on. Any other comments, discussion, anything to add, Mark, or we pretty well covered it all?
Covered it.
So now it's up to us to vote to either recommend approval or
Just put it to a vote, there's no findings of fact or anything
Okay.
like that.
We've heard the comments and the questions. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second to approve?
I'll second it.
Second, Tammy. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor of approving Mike Schwartz's request to subdivide his lots, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Okay,
Lynette, if you could get the lake board and myself a draft sent over of the agreement.
Will do. I believe my dad was working on that. I haven't seen a draft of it, but we'll be in touch. Our office will be in touch. Yeah.
and we'll need to get the correct papers to
We
sign and
do.
everything.
Right.
Any old business, Mark? Any other business coming forward? If not, we are in adjournment. Thank you.
Thank you.